Last year you saw me at the end of the DVD in Sainte-Marie-aux-Mines at the top of this bottom, very deep pit, 17 meters, and I was threatening to go down. I'm definitely doing it this year. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. If I don't, there's gonna be a very short DVD. So wish me luck and hopefully see you downstairs. Tendu, bien? I'm going down! Bye-bye! Welcome to What's Hot in Sainte-Marie.
Hello, and as Eloise said, welcome to What's Hot in Ste. Marie. I'm Brian Swoboda, and I couldn't be happier to be here. As you know, Ste. Marie is one of the top mineral shows in the world. In addition to the usual lineup of great dealers with fantastic minerals, this show also puts together some truly amazing special exhibits. This year, the special exhibit focuses on the Alps, the highest and most extensive mountain range in Europe. In a change from our usual What's Hot routine, show hosts Christophe Goban and Alain Martad are going to take us deep into why this special exhibit is so important and focus on some of the killer specimens on display. So with that, I'll turn it over to Christophe and Alain.
Now we are in the special exhibit with some amazing display. Can you tell us what is the theme of the show this year?
We choose the Alps, so this is a big mountain all through Europe, covering 6 different countries from Slovenia, Austria, a very small part in Germany, Switzerland, a part of France, a part of Italy.
Yeah, it's about, 1,000 kilometers from Nice to Vienna.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we divided, we have 22 showcases, and we divided by some areas. And 2 of the showcases for questions of special lighting are devoted to fluorides.
Okay, so now we are in front of this incredible blue-purple fluoride from Camicinone mine in Zonio, from the Bergamo province. Can we speak about this fluoride first?
Yeah, Zonio was a small-scale old fluoride mine, not very important, but there was some discovery a few years ago of H fluoride found in mud, very big mud, amount of mud. And now the mine is exploited only for the mineral specimen.
Okay, it's what we can say a classic pre-alpine locality, no?
Absolutely.
As we can see, there is quite different kinds of crystals. You have some crystals who are totally etched, and the other one who have smooth faces.
Yeah.
This one is a very good example of the Zonio fluorides. So yes, in Zonio, most of the fluorides are translucent cubes with a rich purple color, as we can see. And most of these fluorides have some faces with stepped growth, and some smooth, but also having darker edges phantoms, as we can see on the different photos.
Yeah, and there is also some blue, which is less usual in the Alps. It's more well known for Massif Central in France, but in the Alps there is that place, and also another place in Austria for blue cubes.
Here we have a good example of these cubes who are dark purple, and usually the crystals glow when you backlight them. They glow violet, and with some incredible phantom inside.
Yeah, you can see there is some strong etching on some cubes.
Okay, now Alain, we are in front of the pink fluoride from the Alps. In this exhibit, you did a mix between what? Between French Alps, Swiss Alps?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's also quite a few in Italy and in Austria. Here we have only France and Switzerland, which are the most famous. So there is some from the great discovery of the Green Peak. It was 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, in French we call it Aiguille Verte. Aiguille Verte is in the Mont Blanc Massif in Chamonix. It is one of the about 82 peaks at more than 4,000 meters in the Alps. And this piece comes from a very famous pocket, maybe the world best pocket ever in pink fluorides.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, it was found in 2004 by a strahler called Le Lièvre.
Yeah.
And then they have been digging there for the last 10 years with Bibolé, Eva. Am I forgetting somebody?
There are some other friends time to time.
Okay, but the three guys were the main ones climbing there. And since 2004, every summer they have been digging there and finding new amazing pink fluoride. That one is probably one of the best ever found in the Mont Blanc Massif.
Yeah, because it's extremely big, almost 6 or to 7 centimeters, and the edges are very sharp.
Yeah, the color is so strong. We are more in orange-red than in pink color.
Yeah, it's like the English green fluoride. You feel the impression that the light is coming naturally from the inside of the crystals.
Yeah, you're totally right. This kind of alpine cleft is quite unique, and very few climbers are lucky enough to find something like that. It's unique in the history of the mineralogy and the alpine mineralogy. This piece comes also from the Aiguille Verte in Mont Blanc.
That one is from Switzerland on the white quartz. That one is from
Aiguille Verte again.
Aiguille Verte again. That one also. You can see on some faces there is some green chlorite, and that pocket is mostly seated on calcite crystals, not on smoky quartz, which is the dream of many collectors. But you have to know that those are extremely rare, and nature is sometimes like a joker, because most of the pocket, when you have smoky quartz and pink fluorite are rehealed the back side of the naturally fallen down in the pocket smoky quartz.
Yeah, so it's why sometimes you find the nice fluoride on the back of the nice quartz, and you have no way to display the piece.
This is a Pointe Kurtz.
Very famous too.
Yeah, the main discovery took place in 1997 or 8.
Yeah, 98,
The crystals are far smaller, up to 1 centimeters, but really deep red and on smoky quartz for one time.
Yeah, actually we can say that with this new find in 2004 from the Aiguille Verte, the most famous find before was 1998 with the Pointe Kurtz, where the pink fluorides really from the Alps has gotten so much attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was really 1998 with this famous pocket.
Because they reach also the market, the international markets.
Yeah, and it's really this kind of find as Aiguille Verte and Pointe Kurtz who has made the
celebrity
Alps,
of those pink fluorite.
That it has been it has impressed, really shocked the international world collectors.
There is some strong etching shape. This vitrine is devoted to Oisan and all the quartz of Oisan. we will see some more later. And there is a famous place in Oisan, like the Garnets mine. We will see some especially after. But there's dozens of places with nice quartz, sometimes hematite, not a Swiss style, but still of interest. And there are some nice green phantom because of the chloride, like this doubly terminated, some very rare but very, very fine scepters.
Yeah, this is an exceptional piece with this double scepter with the siderite at the bottom. To see this piece in person, it's really a piece of jewel. It's absolutely fantastic.
There is also some slate inclusion in some quartz that makes darker, and some very famous old find like Marron on Oisan. This was the mine was exploited for the for the quartz for the king dishes in the late 17th century. And Marron is famous for pink calcite or yellow calcite with smoky quartz because there's some branerite uranium oxide. There is some nice phantoms of chlorite. Yeah, the quartz was exploited there because of the clarity and sometimes some big crystals, so that gives the possibility to carve some pots or plates.
When did they stop mining there for the quartz?
Certainly end of the 18th century. After it comes from Madagascar or Brazil. You have some strange balls of barite time to time in some places. This is a second vitrine of Oisan. Oisan is well known for discovery of axinite, prehnite and epidote in the very old times. Epidote was named Chorle vert, green chorle at that time. As you can see on that label from the Lyon Museum, there is some pseudomorph of anatase after rutile, some prehnite. This one is important because it's maybe one of the first prehnite found in the Alps. Prehnite was found originally in South Africa, and then immediately after in Balme-Doris in Oisan. And that one is a kind of blue, only found one time and never again. Now everything has been found with green or deep green or light green. And this specimen, very, very famous, belongs to the London Natural History Museum.
Okay, so thank you to Alan Hart to bring the piece to the show.
Yes, thank you, Alan, because many of the French collectors know the specimen, but never seen before. In this piece, the color is given by what? By the manganese? Yeah, on those axinite.
When you have this color?
Yeah. Some epidote on quartz. And the famous Cornillon discovery, where there is a vein, a big vein of epidote. And since 2 centuries, people are able to dig there and to find some good specimen. And there's different places for axinite. The most famous one is Rocher d'Armentier.
Yeah, they are not the largest size crystal in Argentier, but it is probably the best one for the quality, for the luster, for the transparency, and also for the associations.
Yeah, and if you compare to those from Russia, the purple looks a little bit better than the brown of the Russian one.
And yes, and last summer there was also a very big discovery in Pakistan of axinite.
Yeah, that's true.
Some worldwide quality axinite. But in my opinion, the actinite from France are still the best one for the quality, for the luster.
Yeah. There's also some chalcopyrite because there's many small veins of galena, chalcopyrite, sphalerite, and in the old times there was plenty of mines. Even in the Middle Age, in Bourdoisan, over Bourdoisan, there is an entire village from the 11th century devoted to a silver lead mine. I have the chance to own that piece.
Fais ton commentaire là-dessus un peu, vas-y.
The crystals are very thick and green. Backlighting will show it better, and this is associated with quartz, which is quite rare in Cornillon. There is also some anatase that the old mineralogists called blue schorl at that time. And this is one specimen who belongs to the King Louis XIV.
Okay.
From the National Museum of Paris. And these are the famous helmet of green prehnite from Comte de la Selle. And there's also some asbestos, some calcite associated with actinite. This vitrine is about Savoy. So this is more northeast from Bourdoisan, still in France. This is a place where I live now since 10 years. And there is also some old mines. This is galena of 200 years ago. There is also some actinite in Col du Glandon. And there's some parisite, some rare minerals also, plenty of quartz, some calcite, some albite also, and some big anatase from La Lausière, also some garnet, not the quality of the Italian one that we will see later, but some quite big anatase up to 6 centimeters. Look at that, this is very typical Faden quartz. You can see the
phantom inside.
The phantom inside. And that famous piece from Le Noiret, associated with calcite, is called the Z.
Yeah, it's the Sainte-Marie-aux-Mines poster of this year, no?
Yeah,
it belongs to Eric Asselborn.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was found by Lilian Schaub in 1990.
Okay.
There is also some actinite in Col du Glandon in Savoy.
It's not the best location for actinite.
There's some quite big crystals.
Non, mais celle-là sera coupée.
And some very long anatase crystal. Some ilmenite.
Ouais, when it's boring, we pass.
And also green fluoride, very clear. Some Fenester quartz found in the Marle. Oh, these are very strange pyrrhotite oxidized, but they look like boxes. And these are very typical with actinite in all the veins in the Alps who have actinite in France and Switzerland. There is also some big green epidote crystals in Savoie, and those also from Le Noiret with some kind of opalescent white. This is palygorskite and clay inclusion. This vitrine is about the famous Lagardette gold mine. This was a gold mine from the brother of the king.
Lagardette has been worldwide famous with its quartz.
Yes.
A group of quartz of fantastic quality.
Yeah.
And most of the most of the collectors now have one Lagardette quartz in the
wants to have one.
Or dream about about one. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the clarity and the transparency. And finally, Lagardette was more a quartz mine than a gold mine.
Here we have a good example of an exquisite small group of quartz from Lagardette, a spray, very very delicate spray,
and with a twin.
And with a twin on the side. I don't know, Brian, if you can get it on the video, but you have a twin on the right there.
Yeah.
That we
Japanese
used
twin.
to call Lagardette
Yes.
twin, competing with Japan Low twins.
Yeah, so I was wrong. You have to cut because it's not a Japanese twin; it's a Lagardette twin.
Twin.
Actually.
Non, mais c'est bon, c'est bon. Yeah, what is amazing in Lagardette are the big sprays. There is also some barite, some malachite and azurite, some very big chalcopyrite crystals, time to time some smoky quartz, some galenas, some tetrahedrite,
Some gold as well.
some gold. We will see. Oh, there is some very unusual galena like that finger of galena, malachite. And these are how the quartz looks like when they have been unearthed, because there's iron oxides everywhere, so there's a big work to clean everything. Some nice chalcopyrite crystals, lovely seated on the quartz sprays. Some tetrahedrite crystals, more rare than chalcopyrite. You can really see how clear the crystals are. And something very interesting and unusual and very typical for Lagardette are pseudo of tetrahedrite crystals, quite big, after azurite. No, azurite pseudo after tetrahedrite.
And malachite,
Yeah. So something very typical from Lagardette are azurite pseudo after tetrahedrite big crystals. And some gold crystals associated with quartz crystal, which is quite rare in the world. And
Here we have a fine example also of the Lagardette twin. What a piece of jewel.
yeah, those are from the 19th century and belongs to the National Museum. These are the very famous azurite pseudo after tetrahedrite, up to 5 centimeters. A fine example of gold, this is 6 to 7 centimeters, other twins. This is a vitrine about Mont Blanc, the French side of Mont Blanc. So mostly known for pink fluoride that we have seen before, and also some smoky quartz with fine gwindles, faden quartz also, amethyst scepters, and some rarities like malachite, because there's also little veins of chalcopyrite, galena.
Ça c'est roche-acier, hein?
Yeah, this is a very famous discovery of Jean-François Astier in Les
From
Rochassiers.
Les Rochassiers, yeah. He found a fantastic cleft in the Alps. It was what, in 2009, 8 or 9, I guess.
8 or 9, yeah.
He found a small cleft, but with maybe a dozen of. This is really fantastic. It's probably the best quality ever found in the Alps. this they call it cognac.
The color.
Cognac color. It's dark, smoky, but super jammy, with a lot of life inside and the
little amount of red that makes the color very special.
Yeah. And in my opinion, it's the very best color we can find, and the how you say, the pendant in the Swiss Alps is Ziegenstock.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's lighter than Les Rochassiers, but we are in the same kind of quality for the quartz in the Alps, and these species have been very famous.
Yeah, these are what makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. Again from Les Rochassiers, from Jean-François Astier.
There's some titanite crystals. This is a very famous discovery of Pointe des Améthystes, Amethyst Peak, where they found 20 years ago a small pocket of amethyst scepter on dark smoky quartz. Quite big, up to 6-7 centimeters.
Yeah, by the way, they found this year a new pocket of fantastic amethyst scepter in the Alps, and again it was Jean-François Astier, and it will be on display at the Chamonix show, the Strahler show.
The next one.
Yeah.
There is some calcite, very, very thin, like a piece of paper. And these are the close gwindles that we called sugar in France, because some are rectangular.
Tabular ones,
Yeah. This is another new find from Yannick Calonge last year. And others amethyst scepters on smoky quartz. I like this gwindle because that one is really twisting. And there's also very rarely some white clear crystals of quartz in Mont Blanc, some big epidote, and some purple fluoride, time to time also some green.
Here we have also a very fine example of what we can find in the Mont Blanc with a gwindle quartz, extremely clear, with a great gemminess.
There is also very rarely some Lagardette or Japan Low twins in Mont Blanc Massif. And a fine close gwindle seated on a smoky quartz crystal. These are two very famous specimens from the Musée des Cristaux in Chamonix. It's a new museum, only 10 years ago. And this is a very big red octahedron, deep red, almost 15 centimeters, cuttable quality.
Yeah, if you go to Chamonix and if you go to the show, you must also take half day to visit the museum. They really built an excellent museum with all the finds that the Strahler discovered in the last years, and it's really a visit that you must do.
Absolutely.
By the way, there is kind of agreement between the Strahlers and the museum. They offer to the museum the new discovery, and the museum has the first look on the new finds.
Absolutely. This is a showcase about an old iron mine, Saint-Pierre-de-Mézage. It's at the foot of Oisan area near Grenoble. And the mine is reopened only for mineral specimen, which is the first time in France.
Yeah, the two Schrallers working there, Grégoire de Bodina and
Sébastien Caiati.
And they did really a very good job. The last year they found some major pieces.
Yeah.
Some of these pieces now are in very famous museums, like the spider, which is a piece of siderite and quartz at the MIM Museum in Lebanon.
There is some fine siderite, different shape of crystals, sometimes associated with quartz, with some lovely pyrites, rarely barite. And you can see how the edges of siderite are
sharp,
very sharp.
Yeah.
Which is quite difficult for a mineral such like siderite. There's different kind of oxidation. Every pocket is different.
Yeah, this pocket, I guess the spider come from this pocket.
Yeah.
No, it was a very special pocket of siderites with the quartz growing only on the top faces of the siderite, and they had some really spectacular pieces.
Yeah. There is also some fine bournonites and tetrahedrite crystals. This is one of the Italian vitrines devoted to the Baveno area, so more the north of the Italian Alps. There is plenty of granite quarry in Beura, Baveno, Domodossola, and they are very famous since 200 years for orthoclase crystals, Smoky Quartz, some fine fluorides. There is also on the Marl strata some Fenester quartz. This area is well known also for the demantoid garnet from Sferlun Valmalenko. This is a specimen from the Milano Museum. In Beura area, there is some granite quarry, less known than Baveno, but time to time there's some extraordinary pink or green fluoride, like that green fluoride, which will be next in the Milano collection.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a vitrine about the south part of the French Alps, mostly with some old mines of galena and some cleft with epidote and albite. And there is a place in the Black Marl, well known, this is Saint-Pons, and on some siderite vugs you have some zinkenite, extremely good crystals, some chalcostibite, some bournonite, tetrahedrite, very rare datsonite also. There's also a little part of the north part of the Corsica island in the Mediterranean Sea, which belongs to the geology of the Alps, with some zoisite, garnet, and some extremely fine chlorite, like that one. For chlorite, it's really something. There's also some very, very old mines, maybe prehistoric, for native copper. And some fine realgar crystals in the Corsica island. This is a zinkenite associated with tetrahydrite from Saint-Pons.
On avance un peu là, il reste cette vitrine, comment tu fais?
Alors là, on est en Italie, on est à la vitrine de... This vitrine is devoted to Traversella and Brosso mines in Italy. These are ancient mines of iron, and they are very well known for dolomite crystals, but also for scheelite, big crystals, strange, unusual epidote. And there was in the 60s, early 60s, a very famous, unique discovery of very fine amethyst, Guerrero-like. Those mines are also famous for giant magnetite crystals, some big scheelite. And that discovery of amethyst is very special because those were found in an internal dump of one gallery. Certainly found in 1910, because there's somewhere written something about the discovery, and they were in the dump of an underground room, reworked on the very early 60s, and they found 12 specimens in the mud, and that one miner kept for a long time, and now...
It's very similar to the Guerrero amethyst.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could really do the mistake when you see the cluster. It could be easily
that fantastic specimen, which is maybe the best for Italy, belongs to the School of Mines of Paris, Paris Mines collection, a museum that you have to visit when you are in Paris. Some very thick epidote crystals. Some big siderite crystals comparable to the French ones. Some big pyrite crystals, rich with extra faces. This very big amethyst crystal belongs to the Milano Museum. The scheelite were quite famous in the 19th century. This showcase is about the Val d'Ala area, well known for the garnet and epidote crystals, like Val Juve, elongated hessonite garnet crystals, some extremely good Vesuvianite and epidote. And on the Italian side of the Mont Blanc, there is plenty of stilbite and other zeolites. There is some very good diopside, and those diopsides were world famous in the 19th century. And there's a lot of different shapes of garnet. The Vesuvianites are very, very fine, very sharp and lustrous. Some of these belongs to the Milano Museum, others to the French collector Alexandre Delerme. This was quite fun to have many people participating to that exhibition.
Yeah, this piece is very famous as well. It's a fantastic twin.
Yeah.
And it belongs to the Alexandre
Delerme in Paris. Yeah.
In Paris. It's probably one of the very best twin ever found.
This very big Vesuvianite crystals is from the Museum of Paris, and we found it in the far end of a drawer.
Yes.
It was hidden. We clean it especially for the exhibition. That's also a lot of fun to unearth some forgotten specimen.
To go digging in the museums.
Yes, absolutely.
And the drawers.
Yeah. This showcase is about Switzerland, and all the specimen belongs to the Geological Museum of Lausanne, which was one of the other museums participating to the exhibition.
Yeah, how many museums participated to the special exhibits?
13 to 14,
Okay.
and 25 private people.
Yeah, so to the special exhibits, most of the European museum participated to the exhibit. How many museums were represented at the exhibit?
13 museums and around 25 private collectors.
It must be a big work to
Yes, but
make such
quite
such an
pleasant to meet many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a big job. These are the famous pink anhydrite from the Simplon tunnel, found at the beginning of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And there is some crystals up to 7 or 8 centimeters, gemmy, lovely pink lilac color that most of the museums of the world have. And these are from another tunnel, some very big pyrrhotite crystals and some extremely fine calcite twins. This is Lotschersberg tunnel. I don't know if the spelling is very good because my German is not that fluent. But those specimens found 15 years ago are shown for the first time in the exhibition Alps. There is also some purple fluorite in Switzerland and some rare minerals like perovskite. And of course, all the rare sulfosalts from the Bin Legenbach quarry, like this killer big Jordanite crystals. It's a famous specimen from the British Museum.
Yeah, the piece has been on display as well at the special exhibit in Tucson.
Yeah, last year.
It's really a major piece.
There is plenty of zeolites from place to place in Switzerland. This is another showcase about the Swiss Alps, with a famous titanite that we called Sphene at that time in the 19th century. Of course, plenty of lovely smoky quartz, because this is one of the specialty of the Swiss Alps.
Fluoride also.
Yeah, very curious. Oxidized, plenty of extra faces, distorted. Some very nice Kapharsite. I like this specimen.
It's a very well-known specimen as well. It's probably one of the very best Kapharsite ever found in Switzerland.
For the luster, the sharpness, it's lovely seated on the matrix. Some other very good crystals of clinochlore from Zermatt, and giant killer anatase crystals from Alplerchaltini in Bintal area. The big one from the School of Mines of Paris, and the fantastic one on matrix from the British Museum. There is also some There is also some very rare but excellent siderite crystals and time to time
Fantastic
from
amethyst.
yeah, with great color. And most of the amethyst in the Alps, French, Swiss or Austrian, are scepter, which is quite nice. Some brookite, of course, because brookite is supposed to be a typical alpine mineral.
Yeah.
And hematite, Eisen rose, very famous in the 19th century. This is a third case about Switzerland minerals. Look at the clarity of that one. Another half-closed gwindle, because you have all the different stage between gwindle and closed gwindle.
Yes, yes.
A very big titanite crystal from Switzerland, from Grison. Some pink fluoride, because there's many places in Switzerland, and a killer anhydrite from Simplon tunnel. There is also some axinite in Switzerland, and a few veins of fluorite with a strongly but nicely etching green fluorite in the Saint-Gothard area. Some apatite, light purple.
Donc on en a une mieux que celle-là.
Here are the hematite associated to rutile, red rutile crystals, very famous from the Cavardi Gorge.
Yeah, Cavardi is probably one of the famous location for the hematite.
This is a vitrine about Austrian Alps, lovely made by Rudolf Watzel, fine mineral dealers and also strong collectors. And it shows all the variety of the minerals of the Austrian Alps. With a killer euclase crystal, for instance. Some very fine diopside, very long crystals, up to 8 centimeters. Of course, amethyst scepters. Clear, water clear apatite crystals. A giant Eisen rose found very recently. And the killer famous green titanite crystals. There is also plenty of quartz, smoky quartz, clear quartz,
Fluoride.
a few fluorite. And there's a very unique place in the Alps with blue cubes. It's a vein almost at the height of 3,000 meters. This is a second vitrine about Austria and also the little part of Slovenia. And you know that in Schwaz in Tyrol, they mined for the silver in the early Middle Age. This was one of the biggest mines. Also, there is the emerald from Habartal.
Yeah, very famous locality in Austria.
Yeah, because mined since the Roman times or maybe the prehistoric times.
Yeah.
And there is some giant datolite giant for the Alps, the famous wulfenite from the mines of Bleiberg and the Slovenian side. And some very unusual crystals coming from the old mines, like those Freibergite. Of course, Austria is very well known for the famous epidotes.
Yeah, from the Knappenwand locality.
Yeah.
Again, Austria has provided some major epidot who can fight with any locality of the best epidots.
Look at that very elongated single crystal of epidot.
Again from Paris Tech Museum.
Yeah, and also from the Strasbourg Museum, from the university. Some fine amethyst. Oh, strange datolite epimorph of calcite. The famous blue aragonite from the Schwarz mine in Tyrol. Austrian Alps are well known also for quarry with strontianite crystal near Oberdorf. This is a vitrine about Swiss minerals. All the specimen belongs to the Lausanne Museum, and it shows a variety of all the specimen coming from those areas, with some fine adularia, some unusual green dravite, some big crystals of Vesuvianite. These are the very famous blue quartz. It's kind of inclusion of hornblende. These are some fine examples of cut kyanite from Pizzoforno and zircons, and also ruby from Campolongo. This is a famous specimen of elbarite crystals coming from Adamello in Italy. This specimen belongs to the Milano Museum, and there is a big story about that because Adamello is a national park in Italy, and the Milano Museum team was able to mine for a very short period with proper tools, big tools, to unearth those beauties which has been lost if they don't do that, of course.
Yeah, and Federico Pezzotta is managing the works on Elba now for years, and made some really major discoveries, including the Tourmaline in the pegmatite, but also some amazing pyrite on hematite. He found some pockets 2 years ago were really amazing.
Yeah, and this is one of the most famous discovery in recent in the Alps. This is gold from Les Brussons, a gold mine in Italy, a kind of Lagardette from Italy, but with a big amounts of golds. I know they found a block of 40 kilo, I think. Those have been etched with hydrofluoric acid.
So Brian, I found Thorsten Prus here, and while we're waiting for you, you got me some nice diamonds out. So, but you know, we have a nice variety of colors and shape and all that fun stuff here. But there are a few pieces I'm really interested in, and Thorsten, if you're okay, I would love for you to show me. Let's begin with the brown octahedron diamond, please.
Ah, yeah.
Can you take that
I remember.
out for me,
Sure.
please?
This is like a 10-carat wall-shaped octaeder crystal. It's cleanish, and well, it has a certain price. But how does the price comes up? I already evaluated the stone. Like we will sort into two pieces, It has a small little spot inside, but the trick of it is we will take the saw and cut it right through
the middle.
so that the spot will disappear.
Okay.
Now, as a 10-carat stone, the best way of weight retention will be to make 2 princess cut stones out of here. So we will having like 2 stones of each 2.5 carats, natural fancy color, brown, right?
Yeah.
Clean, and well, work it out what stones like this will be worth after cutting. Collectors prefer obviously
The rough,
the rough, but mostly like with an excellent shape like this and more inclusions inside because of the price, you know. So, well, if I find in the next few months another collector who's ready, willing, able for the price, but
go. But for you, the best way to go is actually to set it to
stronger demand, much stronger demand. You know, out of a crystal we always make 2 polished diamonds.
Right.
We saw them into 2 pyramids.
Yes.
And an average loss is about 52-55% of loss, you know, which goes up in dust, you know. There will be no refund on that.
You know, like while we're talking about shapes and everything, I would love to see this twin, this Michael I saw earlier, the colorless twin over there, because it's very
the
interesting.
Michael.
Yes, the Michael, yes.
Or triangle. Let me have it out for you.
Thank you. This is nice twin.
Let's check it up. It's a 2.5 carat metal in the average quality of white, G color, and SI.
Of pure, that's the purity, yeah?
Yeah, and such stones only lose, let's say, 45% only. So we're gonna have here like a 1 carat 20, 1 carat 30 out of it.
But this is very flat though, so you can still make something out of that.
The flatter it is, the more weight loss you got, because the fire of the diamond is like a breaking angle. You know, like it needs a certain depth and a certain height for reflecting the light inside.
Right.
One of my favorites is
this one.
This greenish stone. You know? It's just above 1/2 carat. It comes from Botswana. You know. But it's a natural stone. I just know it because we picked it up ourselves, you know. But in general, green can't be proven natural or not.
Right.
Science isn't able yet to prove it whether it's natural or not.
Like, if you look at it carefully, I'm sure if you look at it with the loupe, it's not green throughout the stone, isn't it? It's going to be like to the surface, like green spots.
That's right. Most of...
And that's why you're not going to cut this one, because it's going to lose its color, right?
Yeah. Most of the diamonds, fancy color diamonds in those days aren't round anymore. They are made up in square or like, you know, like triangles, because if you make rounds out of it, as I said before, minus 55% of weight loss, it will also lose its color.
Right.
This is the only reason why most of the fancy diamonds, fancy colors are in fancy shape.
Right.
This diamond is about 150 years old.
Right.
Right.
So it has a big colored facet? No, not even.
Yeah. If we cut it, it will fall below 3 carats. It's now a 330. I worked it out.
Right.
It will be like a 2 carat 80. But I won't be able to improve its brilliancy, so I'll leave it as it is.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It must have been like.
You know, the old cut is just.
No, it's a masterpiece. You know,
yes,
like
exactly.
The man who made it knew what he was doing.
Exactly.
I got to show you kimberlite.
Oh, right.
From South Africa.
So that's the go ahead.
Yeah, this is out of a famous premier mine in South Africa, one of the deepest mines in the world. This is like the piece of rock they grab out and crush it, and there they look for diamonds.
Diamonds inside.
While the cubes from Central Africa are found on the open ground. Right, and here it's like crushing and go for the luck of it, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Also, Central Africa.
Central Africa as well.
Don't know whether it's now from the Mbujimai mine or from the Chikapa mine. It's, as I said, 141 carats.
So it's an aggregation of diamonds, you think? It's like
Yeah.
several crystals in there because you have definitely two different colors, huh? You have
Yeah.
the gray one here and something more like creamy brown.
Unfortunately, in those days, they still bargain for white, clean material inside and open it up, you know.
Right.
They don't even
But
care
there's-
sometimes if they have like 80% loss or so.
Right, yeah, I'm not surprised. That's 141 carats of diamonds, you know, that's something when you hold it. It feels
Yeah,
just right.
power, huh?
You know? What do you think, Brian? It's not bad, eh?
No, you got to remember, diamonds aren't all over the world the same. Like Angola is known for huge, yellowish, clean crystals, while in Namibia you mostly find white, clean stuff.
Right.
In Brazil, I know diamond diggers up there who dig like 2-3 years and find nothing, and one day they find like a big, huge stone worth 2, 3, 4, 5 million.
Okay.
Right?
Wow, yeah.
While in Venezuela, like a few thousand k's up, there's a diamond digger and finds every day his small little diamonds
Right.
and is able to feed his family with it.
Right.
But they won't find big ones up there. So it's like every diamond mine has its own characteristics.
Yeah. Nice, Brian. Thank you very much.
Sure, lady.
Come on, like look at this plate of diamonds. I don't think that happens very often, like or every day. So thank you very much,
Hey,
Thorsten.
Elliot.
And I know that you exhibit in Munich as well. Your company Pro Carat is in Munich as well. So we hope to
For
see you
sure.
there or next year in Sainte-Marie for sure.
And let's see what I got.
Next year.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I found someone at the gymnasium, Mathieu Ponce here. He has some nice stuff. So, Mathieu, can you show me this little green stone, oval shape?
Definitely.
And can you tell me more about this nice stone here?
This is a garnet from Maryland. This is clean, nice color, really nice shape, cut.
You know, it was really standing out at your booth, so I was like,
Yeah.
you know, that's the first thing I saw was that. So
This is more than 5 carats.
More
Is
than
that the
5,
thing?
huh?
Yeah. Look clean.
yes, definitely.
So it's a good stone, really good stone.
Yeah, this was definitely my favorite when I arrived here.
Yeah.
But then you showed me other things, other green things.
Yeah.
Could you show them to me? But
Yeah.
in the meantime, I'm definitely going to look at that. So Maryland green garnet, and it's a Savarite,
Yeah. We call it mint Savarite.
mint Savarite,
Yeah.
because it's not deep in color.
Because it's not deep. Yeah, normally it's Savarite, it's more like this color,
Yes.
intense. But
Yeah.
the mint, I really much more this one because it's more sweet, more.
And you don't have the yellowish or
No.
that you don't, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, these are other garnets. These are dementoid garnets, right?
Yeah.
So you see really the difference in color. It's completely different here. But those one are from Russia. Huh?
Russia,
Yes.
yeah. The rural one.
And
With the
I,
horse
you
tail.
know, yes, I was looking at this one earlier. This one has a very nice inclusion. That's we call the horsetail inclusion. So that's very typical of the dementoid from this locality. These are mostly collector stones. You know, that's what I enjoy at least, and definitely want to share that with people. But I think you have another nice collector stone.
Yeah, I have very nice, but the thing
That I've
is,
been really surprised
yeah,
with.
for this one, the color here with some
Lights like
lights,
this.
yeah, we have maybe to show here.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
maybe show it here first and then maybe take it outside.
Yeah,
If Brian is okay with that. And you are okay with that.
yeah.
So, you know, when you first opened the box to me, I didn't know what it was. I had no clue whatsoever. I don't know if our public here is going to be wondering what it is, I was definitely like stunned. Like, you know, it couldn't be a garnet. Like, my first reaction was like, wow, well, that's too good to be a specified garnet, but that was completely wrong. So what are those stones and where do they come from?
It can be spinel, it can be Windsor ruby. Vincent wrote a paper on that.
Yes.
It's a rhodonite, Brazilian rhodonite, the top of the color.
Top quality.
Yeah, top quality. This one is more than 5, and this one is 3.8.
Okay.
Like this.
Do you know the very specific deposits where it comes from in Brazil? No, just
No.
Brazil. Huh? Ah,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No, not. I don't buy it in Brazil. I buy it in Bangkok,
Okay.
but it's only, you know, for collector, and it's really not for sale, in fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course. Again, it's a collector's stone, you know, so not something that's going to use, especially that it's kind of fragile as well, right? So you don't want to wear it on a ring for sure. Yeah. So are you okay if we take it outside to have a look at it?
Yeah,
yes?
for sure. Okay.
I'm going to put the box back though, because I don't want to carry it around.
Yeah.
We are at the bar outside now, so we can look at those two beautiful, gorgeous rhodonites. And you can now see the real color of the stones. They're just gorgeous. Beautiful collector stones. You see, I think that's what he was saying, was that this one was over 5 carats. Really beautiful.
Merci beaucoup.
Here are the precious stones back. That was
Thank you very
beautiful,
much.
and indeed, difference in color.
Yeah.
Completely, much more
Definitely.
amazing outside.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I will see you in Sainte-Marie again next year.
I think.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Welcome to the first time edition Gem Fashion Show here in Sainte-Marie-aux-Mines. So as you can see behind me, you have runaway models wearing jewelry pieces from creators and jewelers that are exhibiting here just behind us inside the show. They have very basic dressings just to show off the pieces. You have a nice crowd, people are reacting very well, so we really hope that we're going to have that again next year. Brian, let me introduce you to Nicolas Zilberman here. He is a gemologist and he has always some really nice stuff, unusual stuff, and things in good sizes actually. And we were talking earlier, and he was showing me this range of 3 stones.
You got 3 stones here. They're all chrysoberyl and coming from different places. This is Ilaka historic mines, I would say.
So Ilaka,
mine in the early 2000s. That one, yeah. And here you get Sri Lankan chrysoberyl. And here you get a different hint, different hue of chrysoberyl, which might coming from Sri Lanka. But they're all different. As you can see here, you get deep yellow-green. Here you get some blue inside, and here you get a lot of blue inside, which gives you a light green inside.
Yeah, this color is really unusual. You know, I'm more used to see this kind of color, but the greenish with less. I mean, for me, it's, I don't know. I can call it more blue. Like I can see any blue, but for me, it's less yellow. You know, that's.
Okay, green's down of course yellow, blue, and
Yes,
we used
but
to say
is-
that there is a lot of blue in this kind of chrysoberyl.
Yes. So that was highly unusual for me. So that's what I liked about this stone. This one. Look at the color of this.
Yeah, so this one, oh well, shame because you saw what's the name, but this one is coming, I would say, from Burma, and this is coming from Sri Lanka. Of course not. They're both coming from Nepal. They were mined at the beginning of the 2000s, and that was something which came out and which gave the boost to the kyanite, which was not used to be stone used in jewelry or anything.
Exactly.
And then we had with these first colors coming from Nepal, and the market accept kyanite with this 2 hardness, isn't it? Soft hardness. And here you get 2 specimens because 3 reasons. First, you get just one color. You get no what I call soul in the middle of the stone, no light colored on the middle of the stone. This is the first thing. And the second thing, you get splendid color. And the third thing, they are very big. As we know, it's so fragile that when you get stones going over 5 carats, this is something which is really unusual.
for me, that's the first time I see such big kyanites. Like recently, like I would say last year, I think that was last year in Tucson. I've seen more and more jewelry made out of kyanite, as you were saying. You know, like, and you look at the stones, like, wow, that's a sapphire. You know, of course that's a sapphire. It's so perfect. But again, the stones that I was looking at were 1 to 2 carats. There was nothing bigger than that. I think I've seen up to 4. But that was really the limit. So this is amazing.
And they found a way to set it because they just do it with 24 carats gold, which gives you softness and it's suspension, I would say, for the stone. So no breaking. And you got a lot of stone, cubic zirconia generally, to give you an idea as sapphire with diamond. But the stones are higher than the kyanite, which helps for the protection of the stone.
Right, I see.
Okay, that was the trick of my booth for this year. I asked many of my friends to tell me what were these stones, and everybody was looking what it was. You know,
what it was, yes.
Gemologists didn't find it, of course, because you are never used to see this kind of color. And so everybody's going for kyanite, and then sometimes to tourmaline, or pala tourmaline. Okay, nothing can be else than pala tourmaline for this kind of stuff. But usually, this stone has a peach color, orangey peach color. Orangey pink peach color, right? And this is how you find it. But this is this is coming from the historical mines from Madagascar, where it has been mined, where it has been discovered in the end of the 19th century by Lacroix, and then which has been named by, what's his name again? The guy who was working in Tiffany? This jeweler? So this has been named Morganite by Mr. Kunz at the beginning of 2000. And originally that was coming from Madagascar. This is where it has been discovered first. And this color is the historical color. And today you never find this color. Never. So this is old stone from, I would say something like 50 years, something like that. And came out, I used to be in Madagascar for quite a long time, so
So you mean that's something very, very old, that just reappeared into the market, that's old. Not a new deposit, it's an old deposit.
I don't know the deposit anymore. Right. I don't think there is, that it can be mined anymore. This is in the central area, in Anjanabunan part. If I do remember, it should be called Slaina mine, something like that, but I can't tell you exactly where it's coming from. Where is the mine? I knew that when I was in Madagascar, I was used to find this kind of stones, 2 carat, 3 carats, and I was so happy about it, But never pockets, never parcel, always stone by stone. But this is huge.
So how big is it again? Remind me?
This is 24 carats.
24 carat stone.
This is huge.
24 carat Morganite with this color that is so
pink. Let's say pink, nothing else.
Pink, yeah.
How can you
This is amazing. Those 2 stones, you have a tourmaline on one side, and how big is this one? Because it's a nice stone, and you expect, that's what you expect from tourmalines with those.
This is pala.
Inside.
This is pala.
Pala, okay.
Pala can be else. Can be something else. This natural day fluorescence pink. No other tourmaline can get this kind of colors.
Right.
So you get no lights, and it's still. If you take out all the light, if you get inside dark, you will get more colors. This is how I judge colors. Okay. Take out the color. Take out the light. Put it in the black. Put it in the shade. You get the best color.
Wow, I was not expecting that. That's for sure. So, Nicolas, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you. And
you're welcome.
We'll see you at the usual place in Sainte-Marie next year here at the gymnasium.
Hope to be in person this year.
Have a good show then.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, that's going to wrap up our show for this year. We are here with Monsieur Claude Aubel, the mayor of Sainte-Marie.
Hey.
Wonderful to see you again, my friend. You did it again. It was a fantastic show. Everybody had a fantastic time, and they did lots of business. What's the secret?
quel est le secret? Encore une fois, c'est très bien passé.
Alors je crois que c'est le mélange.
So, as usual, it's a mix between the nice atmosphere, the nice people, look around you, the landscape, obviously, and this year we had beautiful weather on top of everything else, so, you know, it's mostly the people, I guess.
Monsieur Abel, do you realize that I brought the good weather from Hawaii with me when I arrived?
Alors je suis content qu'on a misé sur lui, effectivement. Ça mais on continuera à l'inviter.
So thanks, Brian, because obviously you brought the nice weather with you, so definitely you have to come back next year.
Okay, and so for next year,
Pour l'année prochaine,
we're going to indoctrinate you as a What's Hot in Sainte-Marie official team member with your Hawaiian shirt.
pour l'année prochaine, vous serez un membre officiel de la maison des What's Hot in Sainte-Marie. Donc
Merci
voilà,
beaucoup.
Ce sera pour l'année prochaine.
Merci beaucoup, Brian.
Merci. We will see you next year.
Thank you,
On va se
Brian.
revoir l'année prochaine.